Hello, all you people out there in podcast land. This is Texas Tom. In today's episode, we're going to talk about politics, current events, and things going on right now. Hello, all. We're back again to address just one more in a long list of ideological issues that seem to plague folks these days. In my last podcast, I talked about being politically agnostic and how I apply this to my judgment calls while putting together these podcasts. That being said, I pondered a bit on what to talk about for the second podcast and decided that I wanted to talk about something that deals with the academic stance that there was a paradigm shift between the two parties at some point in the past. Now, on one of my videos on YouTube that's gone semi-viral, the spokesperson in the video talks about how the two parties have been detrimental to people of color, using them for their political gains. No huge surprise there. However, he points out the fact that although he doesn't agree with conservatives, he can at least trust them because they're upfront in their intentions and honest in the way they approach. He then goes on to state that he can't trust liberals because they're sneaky and conniving in their approach. Well, needless to say, this has sparked a lot of debate. The video is somewhere around 1.4 million views as of this podcast. So I thought this would be a good time to address one of the more common responses that I find in this video. There's a rumor going around at some point in the past that both parties magically changed their ideologies 180 degrees. Now, there's no evidence that this ever happened, and it boggles the logical mind to think that it could have. Democrats have always been the party of Jim Crow and the KKK. Republicans, on the other hand, have always been the party of the civil rights movement. They've always supported it. You look back into the early days and then Lincoln and moving forward to all the bills that were introduced and right up through MLK, who was also a Republican. The Republican Party has historically supported the civil rights movements and always sided on the side of people of color. Even with academic brainwashing and retardation, as we call it, you just can't deny historical facts. Now, it's understandable that Democrats would have made up this fantasy. If the Republicans had a background that was similar, they may want to cover it up too, because they're not a lot better. They're just not so conniving. If the truth was known, intelligent people would never vote Democrat again. So do yourself a favor. If you hear this rumor, ignore it. It's easily disputed by facts. Go out and do your own research. Look up the history of the parties. Look up the voting records. And look up more recent history and try to find where in some magical fantasy land that the two parties have changed ideologies. Just happen to come about at the same time. It's ridiculous. But there again, you have left-wing ideologies and left-wingers are ridiculous. Anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for listening. I'm going to keep doing these short podcasts. I've got some longer ones coming, and we will talk to you again soon.